I'm glad to join with all of you celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Northwest Arkansas National Airport. I will never forget flying in on Air Force One in November of 1998 for the opening ceremony and looking down at all the back roads I know so well and knowing that Northwest Arkansas finally had its airport. I said that day that the effort to open the airport symbolized America at its best. People working for a common objective across party lines, putting people first and thinking about the future. All these years later, I still feel that way.
Today, in a sentence, at long last, Northwest Arkansas can fly.
The need was created long before it happened. And because of the growth in Northwest Arkansas, the need for more consistent, reliable air travel, and so the first bond issue failed. The first effort at a regional airport failed. And then we had the second try out at great leadership in Northwest Arkansas, and everyone saw the need and it passed. And so, it's because of a booming economy, it's because of industries that are growing here, people moving here, and I certainly understand that you've got to have reliable air transportation with direct routes to major cities if you're going to continue that kind of growth and attract the talent you want into Northwest Arkansas.
It was actually in 1990, I believe it was, when we formed the council that the second effort started. The airport effort was all a part of the reason we formed the council, because we knew we had to get the economic and political clout of the region concentrated in a body that could then convince the rest of the world we needed two things: an airport and interstate highways.
It's Sam Walton, J.B. Hunt, and Don Tyson. They were all putting together their plans for growth, and we said, what are we doing? We're fighting among ourselves. We just are not getting there. We need to change our focus and change our image so that coming together, together our voices are stronger than if we are speaking separately with different messages.
Really, it was kind of an unknown to everyone, and we knew that we needed an airport in this area. It was growing, but there's been some indecision on where it would be located. It had to be improved by the two counties, and it was approved and the location was selected. Then we started, and I don't know that anyone 30 years ago knew it would be what it is today.
To start with, when we built the airport and we didn't have one airline signed up. I mean, it was zero. So we were kind of going out on a limb a little bit, or a whole lot, I should say. And so that was the number one challenge, is how do you get airlines signed up to utilize our facility.
They all took the time and went and met with the CEOs of each airline. And that's how we convinced them to move. The end result was due to Carol Uvalde, Scott Van Landingham's efforts, and it was that team and all of the folks who are Benton and Washington County that really made that happen.
The thing I'd like to remind folks is it's real easy to forget when you see that parking deck full and all of those cars out there, that the airport itself was not a sure thing. There were people who didn't want the airport. There were concerns by the cities and counties about whether or not it would be financially successful and whether they would get stuck with the bill. And so the early part of the whole project was convincing folks that yes, this will work.
President Clinton flying in on Air Force One, that was a big deal. And it was a huge crowd here. It was busy, and the dirt road was full of dust.
Oh my, there hasn't been a day in 25 years that I haven't seen something going on here. Designing, building, planning, and I've seen it, as I like to say, from dirt to now. I think we've created a place that provides, good service to the community, and it's just been fun to watch.
Formerly a business traveler airport, and we still are a major business traveler airport, but during COVID, obviously a lot of that was not happening. And one of the things that we were able to develop during that time period was a lot of leisure travel, and so now we see leisure destinations coming up to the top of the top 5 destinations that people are going to from XNA, and so getting that right balance between being an efficient airport for business travelers, people come in, come out, but also being a very well amenitized airport for leisure travelers is important, and I think that's going to help us in the future as well.
An airport is always huge for any region. If an airport basically creates that connectivity with other parts of the country and other parts of the world, and if you can effectively reduce the travel time from here to another part of the country, you connect it. And that helps business, it helps with tourism. It's an amazing, I can't say that the airport has created the economic development of the area, but we wouldn't have been able to have the economic growth that we've had without the airport. It's they go hand in hand, they have to go together, and we benefit from the growth and population and economic development in the area, but we certainly contribute a lot, both directly and indirectly. It's almost $500 million a year that the airport has in terms of economic impact on the region. And that's, we've got 900 or so direct jobs here at the airport. But the bigger part of that is really the connectivity. It makes it easier for people to conduct business with this region and from this region with the rest of the world.
So XNA has been critical to attracting industry. We're able to pitch that you're a nonstop flight or one connection away from literally anywhere else in the world. And that's a real selling feature. Not many mid-sized airports around the country can claim the route map that XNA has. But for talent attraction, it's been even more critical. For talent that we're trying to move into Northwest Arkansas from all around the country or even all around the world, the opportunity for their families to have an easy trip in, or for people that move here to have easy getaways, has just been a real selling point for talent attraction.
The critical nature of it is seen, though, every day, in which the airport board is able to acquire new lines of travel coming in here from major metropolitan areas across the country. That's what industry looks at. Whenever we work to recruit industry into the state of Arkansas, they immediately look at where's the major airport, and do you have access to the cities that we need to have access to in our business. And so it's just a critical link of continued growth and service of our industries that have really made Northwest Arkansas strong.
We've got a real progressive staff now. They really are. Scott Van Leningham did a wonderful job leading this thing for many years. When Scott retired, we hired Aaron Burke, and he has put a group together that are knowledgeable and really forward-looking. So instead of dealing about what we're going to do next year, we're dealing about what we're going to do 20 years from now. So that's a progression that I've really witnessed and enjoyed witnessing.
I think it's hard to undercount the impact that it's had when you think about what Mike mentioned, the access that you have to the rest of the world and the expectations that people have. People that live here, that move here, their businesses, they expect to have that connectivity to the rest of the country. And when we bring people in, many of them are surprised at the direct routes that we have, but they also want more. And so how do we work together as a business community in the same way when the council was founded, when XNA was founded, how do we continue to work together to make sure that XNA continues to grow just as this region grows? I think that's really important as we look to the future. And so how do we all work together to grow in a smart way to make this growth work for everyone?
Everybody who's using the airport this year knows there's a lot of construction going on. So that terminal modernization project is just really going to enhance how people come into the airport and how they access it, and everything from elevators to escalators to getting their luggage as they head out and as they head to the parking.
We have a lot of really exciting things happening with The connector road to the airport is going to be huge. That's going to make it so much easier for us to be able to access the airport. We're, we believe, the only airport of our size that only has two-lane access to the airport. So giving people a better, safer, faster route to the airport is going to be really important. In terms of, you know, the facilities, there's a lot of stuff that's happening that the customers will never see that makes us more efficient. You know, so we're, all the behind the scenes stuff with baggage handling and all that stuff, that's all part of our terminal modernization project that's under construction right now. Updating the facilities, making it just more aesthetically pleasing, providing more space. Slim Chickens is going to be opening up soon. We've had, you know, the Einstein Bagel that opened up recently. We're actively looking to recruit a lounge to the area. So again, providing just more and more facilities and amenities that the customers want.
I think we are always thinking not just of our employee base and those who are working on our behalf to service the passengers, but I think every decision we make, particularly as a board, is we're thinking about the customer, we're thinking about the traveler. And is this something where we're just going to make money because that's important, or are we doing this as an investment because it is going to provide even a better experience for our passengers? And in my opinion, that is what makes Northwest Arkansas, and when people come and they say, wow, they are really this nice, or wow, this is a great place and I think we need to visit here more frequently, or maybe this is a place we want to move, or I want to bring my business here. That is what I think differentiates us as a region as well as in an airport.
We have a wonderful leadership team that's really focused on the future. So, you know, we're celebrating 25 years, but really the message is our board and our staff is focused on the next 25, the next 50, the next 75. So we're making plans for the long term to try to be a world-class facility for the future. We know that this region is going to continue to grow, and we want to be everything that the region needs us to be as that happens.
We really do help encourage that growth. We need to stay ahead of that growth so that we're able to service folks, but a well-run and quality airport is essential to growth in Northwest Arkansas, and we're just very excited to be a part of that growth and hopefully doing our part in encouraging it and keeping up with it.
Over the last 25 years, the airport has delivered on all its promises and more. It's not only been a driving force for the region's economy, but a gateway to all the wonders Northwest Arkansas has to offer. I'll always be proud to have been part of the effort to make it happen, and I can't wait to see what the next quarter century has in store.
And what I'd like to ask all of you to think about is to think of this airport. It's not just going from here to Chicago, but from here to tomorrow.